All right. So why am I outside barefoot? Today we're talking about EMFs, and I'm excited. Every Thursday I come on live 2:30, and I get to share with you guys just health topics, answer questions about health. But today we're talking about EMFs. If you have no clue what EMFs are, then you're gonna get to learn about EMFs. But so before I continue on, if you've been following this for any number of weeks, you know there's no catch. This is just me just sharing questions that my patients have, sharing tools and tips and strategies about health. So the only thing I ask you to do is one thing: just press the share button. Just share this with others so that they get to hear this information and really just get healthy together. So here we go. EMFs. If you haven't heard of EMFs, they're electrical magnetic fields, and they're all around us, right? It affects our bodies too. You know, we're polar beings. We are electrical beings. If you've ever seen one of the medical shows, in the medical shows, when they want to check your heart or they want to check like brain activity, what do? They put those patches on you, right? Those patches, or the little patches you've seen on people's brains, those are electrical patches. They pick up the electricity that the body's producing. And when you're producing no electricity, you're not here anymore. So your body is affected by the electrical magnetic fields around us. And everything affects us. You know, at home, the electrical outlets, they affect you. If you ever stand in front of your microwave, that affects you. If you live near or under power lines, that affects you. So all of these things affect the electrical system in the body, and every cell in your body picks this stuff up. So here's the cool thing, before I get to the answers here, this is what happens. All throughout the day, you're producing these positive ions. These positive ions, they increase in the body. And as they increase, we know for a fact, the research shows that it produces more oxidation in the body, which more oxidation means you age quicker. It produces more inflammation in the body. More inflammation leads to disease. So literally, these positive ions are working against you when it comes to building health in your body. So what we want to do is we want to do something called grounding. It's also called earthing. If you've never heard of it, this is where you get connected back to the earth. The earth has a very high negative polarity. It means it has negative ions it gives out. And if you even think back a couple hundred years, we were always in contact with the earth. We used our hands to get down and actually start farming. We were barefooted, walking around all the time. So these positive ions we would produce, the earth would get us back into balance. Nowadays, we have almost zero contact with the earth. So, you know, we have rubber soles on our feet. We go inside, we put sandals on. So we're never really getting rid of all these positive ions. So a couple of tips that you can do, and some of the things that I do to get back in balance and get these positive ions out of your body are, number one, every single morning, well, I'd say most mornings, I get up and I do my morning grounding or earthing, which is I walk outside, and in the morning is the best time to do this because in the morning the grass has a little bit of dew on it, and that dew on the grass actually makes it more polar. Like if you had water and you put electricity in water, it makes it more, you know, it kind of makes it go more. So I walk around in my front yard barefoot as I just pray, as I meditate for the day, and it literally just wakes me up and wakes you up, and it gets you back in balance. So that's number one. Let me mention this too. Cell phones. This is one of the worst things that we have done to our bodies, because we're always connected. And in the 1990s, cell phones really started to kind of take on and get popular. So between 1990 and 2000, well, to today, they've done a lot of studies on cell phone radiation, or EMFs, and how that's affecting the body. The CDC at one point put a statement out saying how damaging it was for you to have your cell phones constantly on your body and the uses of cell phone. And literally within a few days, maybe even hours, they had to take this statement off. Now, this is speculation. Why did they take the statement off? I believe there's a lot of money behind the technology we're using. So But there's a lot of research showing that the one I just read was people who are heavy cell phone users, and what they qualified as heavy cell phone users was 2 hours a month. 2 hours a month. 2 hours a month only having a cell phone up to your ear 2 hours a month doubled your chances to having a glioma or glioblastoma, and this is a tumor that's created in your brain, and most of the time it's a fatal tumor. So having those cell phones constantly on our bodies, whether it's up to our ears, whether it's even in our pockets, you know, very close to the areas that produce our future generation, you're literally causing damage to those areas. So one of our steps that we did at home recently was we used to have the cell phones right next to us, you know, so we can get up in the morning and press the alarm when it goes off. My wife and I have just chosen to put the cell phones on the other side of the room, which there's two purposes. One, it gets us away from the EMF. Number two, it makes me wake up in the morning. I should go get it. So now I'm out of bed, so it works for many reasons. So in the morning, grounding, earthing, walking around, that's one of the best times. After work, if I get home early enough, I take my kids outside and we literally play in the yard, barefooted, bare feet, one of those two. We're barefoot, we're out there playing and just having a good time, and at the same time we're grounding ourselves, getting those positive ions out. Another thing, the best place you can actually ground and earth is going to be the beach. Going out to the beach, when you're out at the beach all day and you're laying there on the sand or on, you know, in the water, that is one of the highest places where it has the highest negative ions, which is huge. So this is why when you're done with a beach day, you go home and you rest better than you've ever rested sometimes. Like you sleep your sleep is so deep. It's because you've gotten all those positive ions out and you really are more balanced. So hope you enjoyed this. I love grounding every day. I do it as much as I can, whether it's for myself, my kids, at the beach. So this is one way you can start reducing the EMFs. Get your cell phone away from you as much as possible. Get it out of your pockets. Ground in the morning. Get the outlets. Make sure that when you're sleeping, your bed is not by an outlet. Like if your head's by the outlet, check behind the boards. There are outlets there sometimes, so we try to move our bed to where we don't have outlets. So a lot of stuff out there on EMFs. You can Google this. There is a lot of bogus stuff out there as well, as far as things that help you, but there's a lot of good things out there as well. So if you have any questions, any comments, if you liked and enjoyed this, give us the thumbs up. The only ask that I have is press the share button so that others can start this health journey with us. So thank you guys. I'll be back next week, Thursday at 2:30 p.m. live.